Hey there, YouTube. Welcome back to another Texas Leprechaun Channel tabletop review. So, I was going through the safe this morning, and I noticed I hadn't had this knife out in quite a while. And I know I definitely haven't had a review on it. And I was thinking to myself, sometimes you just have those knives that you just enjoy kind of, flipping and just playing with more or less. And this is one of those knives. This, I believe, was my first automatic that I ever purchased. And it goes back to a video I watched of Nut and Fancies. And he was a big supporter of this particular knife. And it was basically just because it kind of got people into the auto line. For those states, especially like mine, that definitely let their citizens use these knives and carry these knives, it's just kind of a fun thing to do. They are functional. But more importantly to me, it's just kind of cool to have. It's just something different. And it really does kind of surprise people. You got to be careful when you do use these in public, because some people are not quite sure of our knife laws. But this particular knife I've always thought was fun, and that is the Boker Plus AK-74. This particular one is the Desert Sand, I believe. And I've always really loved just how the action really is just very responsive. Now, I will say the only con that I've found on this particular one is the push button is a little bit gritty, but it is definitely functional. And but just kind of take a look at it. It's fun. It's just it has a good textured handle. It's aluminum. Because it is only like AUS 8 steel, but it holds an edge. I mean, for your basic EDC needs, this does a really good job. This particular one is a spear point, so it's a little different type of blade shape instead of your normal drop point or clip point style, which I believe those styles are available from Boker Plus. The clip is a deep carry clip, and it is very functional as well. It does hold pretty good. And kind of just playing around with this thing, and I still feel compelled just to keep on closing and opening it just like this, if I don't keep on hitting the camera. But what I wanted to share with you is just the fact that a lot of people always think about Chinese made, Taiwanese made blades, and how they kind of just associate those with poor quality. In reality, these areas are really stepping up their game. And matter of fact, a lot of these manufacturers in those places actually make knives for American companies. And this, in a way, is nothing different. Now, this is, I think, Boker is out of Germany or something like that. But it's still a good little knife. And for the price, I want to say this is like $30, $34, something like that's what I paid for it. And that was probably at least 2, maybe even 3 years ago. It's still a good bargain. I mean, if you're definitely looking to get into the auto game, this is a good place to start. I have a few different auto knives that I love, absolutely love to carry. And I think I've shared that with you with my ProTech SNG. Very responsive knife, just great, feels good in the hand, but the actuator is awesome. I have a Piranha knife that I love, the DNA model. So I'm accustomed to those styles, but I still gravitate, believe it or not, back to this little sucker just because it's fun. And look, if you're kind of like me, if you drop your knife, you freak out. You're like, crap. Not to say I still wouldn't freak out a little bit from damaging something like this. As you can tell, it does have some wear. But you don't feel near as bad if you get a little ding or something in it, because in truth, this knife is made to handle, right? This is not really anywhere near a safe queen, and it's just one of those fun knives to always carry. See, there's a little grittiness there. But, yeah. So, for those out there that really want to start looking at the auto knives, I personally believe this is a great way to start. And for like 34, 35 bucks, it's a great entry-level knife. And even if you just want to get a kind of just a fun knife to flick around, it's not a flipper, it's an auto knife. this is even better in my opinion. Start off with this, and then eventually, once you start saving your money, or if you feel confident carrying something like this, maybe you can graduate up to like one of the Piranha knives, or the ProTech knives, or Microtech, and so on and so forth. So anyway, if you have any comments about this knife, maybe you have it, leave your comments and maybe your review down below. I'd appreciate if you subscribe and hit that like button. This is Texas Leprechaun. I'll see you next time.